Hello there. I'm back. This time I'm here to talk to you about the pochoir or the stencil printing and how that's going to work. So here's an example of one of the prints and how it looks when you're done. And again, what I like about this technique so much is that it's cheap. It's easy. And with this print style, you can get a lot more prints. Like I could print infinite number of prints with this combination of stencils as opposed to the painterly that's kind of a one and done type of thing. So what you do first is a dry run. You want to like arrange your composition. And I have some supplemental stencils that you can grab from and use in yours if you would like. You can use found objects and things like leaves, even something as simple as, you know, a shape or a rectangle that you cut can give your composition something interesting. So, you know, some of these elements took very minimal time to cut. I feel like I just kind of have one rock star that is going to hopefully elevate this. I do wish I spent a little bit more time on my door. So this is the arrangement of what I want my stencils to look like. And then this is how you actually print it. So what you're going to need are your stencils, obviously, and your brayer. You're going to need a plexi plate. And you're going to need your plate tin to roll your inks on. And you're going to need the block printing inks. And you're going to need dish soap. Clear dish soap is what makes this all work. Again, we wait for the stencils to dry. We wait for the whole plate to dry. And then we lay wet paper on top that activates the ink. And the dish soap is what allows it to release from the plate and from the stencils. So the first thing I do is just put dish soap on everything. And you see it's not a ton. It's just a thin layer. And your stencils need that too. So remember, you're inking the side and soaping the side that is going face up. And so everything needs to look the way you want it to look. So I'm just kind of inking these with the soap, rolling these with the soap really quick. The ink will not release if you don't have soap. Whew, bubbles just happened. Look at that. That's okay. Oh, my bracelet's loud and annoying today. Calm down. This part's kind of boring. You get the idea, though. Soapy, soapy, soapy. And then for everything to show up, you're obviously going to need your different colors of ink that you want to have happen. Okay, so I'm going to smooth my dish soap back out again. And then I'm going to scoot that up. Try to make it so you can see me rolling the ink out as well as everything else. So the background you need to be the color of, in my case, what the sky is going to be. And I've said before, I'll say again, don't use color straight out of the tube, please. So mix your colors, whether that happens with your brayer or with a palette knife. It's totally up to you. I do it with my brayer. Love that sound. Get your color going. And then ink the entire plate. This again is the background color for your print. This takes more ink than I think it will. Okay. Now, I'm not going to wash off my brayer because I'm lazy. We've discussed this. Okay, so I need this to be over here out of the way. And then maybe I can tilt this a bit so you can see more of what's going on here. Yay. All right, tree time. He's kind of the first one. And I want him to be like a light green, like almost a white green. The other cool thing about these stencils is we can spray paint with them. So my plan is that the next warm day that we get, we take all my colors of spray paint and poster board outside and do a stencil jam, which is an idea I got from a student who attended the Chicago Art Institute, a summer workshop. And basically they go outside and share each other's stencils that they've spent time cutting, and they swap and arrange and just spray paint in layers and move the stencils around and just have a blast. So it's pretty fun. I hope the weather cooperates with us because here it is October and getting ready to snow. I don't have good feelings about that. Okay, so here you can see me inking up my stencil. I'm kind of using an outward motion so that I don't damage the stencil. This is super messy. Your placemat is going to get messy. If you have to get a second sheet of oak tag to protect your surface that you're working on, that's fine. I get it. So, and then this came from a student idea. I didn't know that this would work, but it totally does. You can go and hand paint on the tree, or excuse me, on the stencils, not just a tree, but I can add whatever extra things I need to add here to this. If I wanted to get a little bit of a different look around the edges, or if I wanted the trunk to be a different color, I could hand paint all that. This is an example of a student print where the stencils themselves are pretty basic, but they're interesting, but she painted on them in a really cool way. It even lifted the Sharpie. So you can draw on the stencils as well. As long as there's dish soap, it will release. Okay, so you see how I inked that. I now arrange it on the background in the location I want it to be. And I continue on inking and arranging. Okay, so see that, how it's buckling? Your fingers are going to get dirty. I'm sorry, babies. Just part of it. Part of the class. Is that different enough from my background? Yeah. What is that little thingy on there? Oh, it's some spray paint flaking off. You can't see that, but here, I'll tilt it. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm going to push pause and I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to ink it and print it and show you what it looks like at the end. And it's finished. So all of these are inked and they're arranged where I want them to be. And I feel like it's a little off balance with the black, so I'm going to add a little bit of black down here just with the brush and give this some energy. I don't know, kind of like a grass or shadow. I don't really know what I'm going for here. But again, I don't want it to be just black, so I'm going to grab some ink that's like on my placemat here and kind of work with it. Then you let this dry, all of it. And that seems like, oh no, then it won't print. Yeah, well, it's going to be amazing. You won't believe it. This black is too black. I'm going to definitely be working some things into it. The brush strokes are really important. So this looks super sloppy. That'll ruin my print if I don't get in there and make that look more purposeful and cool. So then when it's all dry, you take wet paper and we lay it on top. Damp paper that you blot. So you get it wet, you blot it. We've been through that a lot. You lay it on top, you roll it through the press, and then you get the print. And it does have these cool like edges around everything where you can see the stencils. And then you can just re-ink them and move them in a little bit different arrangement and keep printing and moving and changing. And it's pretty fun. This is my new favorite kind of printing for sure. Again, cheap, easy, and fun. I hope you have a good time and that you like your print. Bye-bye now.